We are now on the live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelsey, and next to me, the twerking master, the flute-playing twerking master.
Twerking master.
Why is my screen freezing here?
I don't know. I don't know why that is.
It's Kevin. Well, I'm trying to load this page. That's why. That's Kevin the Cane. And he said he would come back when he was able.
When I was able. That's funny.
So we're on a roll tonight. In fact, I look like I ate 2 or 3 rolls, honestly. Trying to catch up. Trying to catch up my buddy Kevin.
I hope we're gonna have to catch down because I was trying to shed some of that weight.
I know, but you're like me, you like to eat. Tell me no lies. I know you like to eat.
Tell you no lies.
But your dad don't have any weight on him. What did he do?
No, he's been skinny ever since the heart attack. He's been.
Was he fat before then?
No, he started losing weight in his late 40s, I guess.
Okay,
but
so
then
when
he stopped being able to gain it back after the back-to-back heart attacks he had a couple of years ago.
I got you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Abnormal Alabama and MyHauntedDolls.com. .com. Kevin has working on his 14th book. The only book I talk about is the book about dating the dead at datingthedead.com because all my other books are really not fitting for this show. But if you would like Dating the Dead, datingthedead.com, you can learn how to date the dead. In fact, if it wasn't for the dead, Kevin would be a lonely guy.
That's just fun.
I know, but that's the only people who talk to us.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hear dead people. So we're going to talk about superstitions tonight, and I've done a little bit of research. Believe it or not, Kevin's done a little research. He's going to talk about the history of some of these superstitions.
Yep.
You probably, in fact, he mentioned weddings, and there's a lot of superstitions in weddings. The things that you do in a wedding, you're not even aware that you're superstitious. We're going to talk about some of them. And so all night long in the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, very superstitious writings on the wall. So why don't we get our fat bellies rolling? I mean, the ball rolling. And don't forget myhaunteddogs.com is where you can get his books and also where you can keep up with his podcast and his almost weekly EVP and spirit box sessions with one of his dogs. And I think what'd you do one Friday night? And
I did a regular video Friday night.
You posted
Saturday.
We posted one where the cat ball lit up.
I took now that came from a live feed from a month ago. I took that bit out. I was just getting time to go back and download that 2-hour video and find that, cut it out so I could show it off. But then I did a fresh video Friday night in here with the Caroline doll. Not Caroline. See, now they're getting all bunched up in my head. There's so many of them.
Look who's here. Look who's here.
Yeah, look who's here. But Melody, the haunted doll from Hawaii is the one I videotaped. And I got some good spirit box responses and K2 and what was the other thing? The anomalies that kind of came up in front of the camera there. So that was some good stuff.
Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
Well,
okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to get Kevin the Cane, and we're going to get him started. What's the first superstition you're going to talk about? The black cats? Looks like cats?
Yeah, I want to do the black cats. Let me get my picture of this beautiful black. beautiful animals, these black cats. I don't know why people are so scared of them.
Well, they're
silly.
Oh, look here. We got our Blunt County Bigfoot guy here.
Oh, okay. Before I throw the picture up there.
Yeah. So, Blunt County, there we are talking about superstitions, and I'm superstitious. Yes. The reality is that I'm afraid that if I'm sitting anywhere in the vicinity of Kevin and he sits on me, I'm squashed.
That's funny.
Okay, she wants to go live. Are you a friend of hers?
Yeah, she's a viewer on my YouTube, so yeah.
So send her the link and let her join in. Can you private message her?
Here. I don't know if I ever had her on Facebook. Let me finish sharing our link here first. And
Crazy Girl, if you find Kevin Kane, My Haunted Dolls, over on Facebook, and befriend him so he can send you a link. Let me
pull her up here.
Oh, be careful. He's gonna pull
Crazy Girl, Oddities. What else is this? Because if you pull up Crazy Girls, all kinds of mess comes up on Facebook.
Well,
I want to get the right. I don't want to get the porno. I want to get the right one.
You want to get the porno? What?
Yes, I don't want to get the porno. I want to get the right one.
Well, if you wouldn't have all that crap on your computer.
I don't have crap on my computer.
Yeah, I know you don't look at it anyway.
Let's see here. I don't.
Okay,
what's her exact name? Crazy Girl Oddities and Adventures. I don't know if that's what she's called on Facebook.
Okay. So Crazy Girl, I'm going to look for.
May have to share it here on her via the YouTube thing because I don't see anything coming up here. Let me look at pages. Nope. Crazy Adventure, Crazy Crafty Girl. All right, I'm going to have to share this thing.
All right, so I've sent that to her. We'll see if it follows through.
Did you?
So, yeah, so watch your Facebook page, see if she finds you. All right, so what is your, you're going to talk about black cats. I don't see a black cat.
Yeah, well, you stopped me from doing it, but with all this on
right. Well, I was looking
I can only do one thing at a time here. Now, let me go back and put my cat there. Now you can shut it up.
All right, simple-minded Kevin is going to be talking about and watch your watch your Facebook page because she's looking for you now.
Okay. Now, is she going to My Haunted Dolls or to my personal?
Well, either way, you'll get a notification. So.
Yeah, I hope I get a notification there. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead with the black cats.
Oh, no. Really?
Yes, no, really. That's what I'm going to do. Gotta talk about the black cats right here.
Ain't nobody got nobody like
I don't know why. You can see that picture up there on the screen, that beautiful cat. Why is that something that scares people? Let's see here.
Well, it really, somebody got it wrong because being a black cat is more dangerous for the cat than it is the human.
Yeah.
Can't see them at night. You run over them.
Well, here's a little bit of historical explanation about the black cat. So
the hysterical,
the superstition about don't let a black cat cross your path or there'll be bad luck in the aftermath.
So where did that crap come from?
Well, here's where that crap come from. Black cats. Let's see. They got here we go. Let me start up here. Because some places it's not a bad, black cat's not a bad thing. It's a sign of good things. So let's read here. The superstitions surrounding black cats varies from culture to culture, but black cats have positive associations in the Celtic nations and Japanese folklore. Black cats were sacred in Celtic mythology. Scottish lore holds that a black cat's arrival at a new home signifies prosperity. while Welsh lore states that a black cat brings good health. However, both the Giles and Celtic Britons had traditions of feral and sometimes malevolent black cats. In Scottish mythology, a fairy known as the cat sith takes the form of a black cat, while in Welsh mythology, the monstrous cat Palug grew from a black kitten. In England, as with other Germanic cultures, some areas would associate black cats with witches and bad luck. The mix of positive and negative associations in Great Britain may have given rise to the later belief that black cats were omens of both good and bad luck. One tradition states that if a black cat walks towards someone, it is said to bring good fortune, but if it walks away, it takes the good luck with it. This tradition was reversed at sea, where 18th century pirates came to believe that a black cat would bring bad luck if it walks towards someone, and good luck if it walks away from someone. It was also believed that if a black cat walks onto a ship and then walks off it, the ship is doomed to sink on its next trip.
Be careful.
Furthermore, it is believed that a lady who owns a black cat will have many suitors. Maybe that's why we have these crazy cat ladies who are trying to get on any cat they can find to find themselves a man. All right.
I need a black cat. Find me a man. Okay, whatever.
So black cats are often a symbol of Halloween or witchcraft.
Well, look at that. Look at that evil cat. Look at its eyes. Just look in that cat's eyes right there. Really. Look at that cat's eyes. See, it looks it's almost a vampirish look, like you mess with me, I'm gonna claw you to death.
I got a message from LaShawana Clark, so that which is crazy girl. So
get her on here. We need some company since we lost our female companion tonight.
I can. There we go. It's there it is. It popped up there.
What?
The StreamYard popped up on our message thing. I don't know how that happened, but there it is. Here, let me share it with her. Make sure we get the one for her. Maybe she's sharing. She might be doing her own show.
I don't know. Just get her over here.
How do you share the show on here?
Invite. Down at the bottom it says invite.
There it is, invite. It's not share, it's invite.
There you go. Then
there
we go. Pop it up.
I got the rest of it.
You know, that little button. You know how to use your mouse?
Yes, I know how to use my mouse.
Be careful.
You old butt.
Kevin.
What?
Be careful. You got a mouse and there's a cat right there.
Oh. Okay.
That mouse thinks black cats are bad luck. Trust me.
All right. Well, here's some more about the black cat. In most Western cultures, black cats have typically been looked upon as a symbol of evil omens, specifically being suspected of being the familiars of witches, which if you watch Sabrina the Witch on Netflix, you've heard that term before,
right?
Are actually shape-shifting witches themselves. Most of Europe considers the black cat a symbol of bad luck, particularly if one walks across the path in front of a person, which is believed to be an omen of misfortune and death. Yes, Kevin, I hear extra noise, and there it is.
Greet. Okay.
Hello, crazy girl.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Glad you've made it.
Well, welcome to the club. You're crazy and we're abnormal. We should get along good.
Yeah, right. All right. Where's Catherine Marie tonight?
She got her first vaccine shot, and it had a little side effect of a horrible headache, So, yeah.
Well, hopefully she starts feeling better soon.
It's short. I got mine yesterday, and I had like fluish-like symptoms all morning, but it went away real quick. It didn't slow me down. It just was a little bit uncomfortable.
Good.
Yeah. So, got to go back in August for my second one. Where are you located?
I'm close to Farmington, Missouri. Basically Bismarck,
Okay.
Missouri.
All right, that's not down the Boot Hills, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's where
Yep.
my granddad used to live, around there
Uh-oh.
somewhere. I can't remember the name of the little
Go ahead.
town, but yeah, no problem. Welcome to the show, number one. Number two, yeah,
Thank you.
it became, in Alabama, became kind of important to protect ourselves because we're like number one in the nation for new COVID cases. You know, so it's like, we need to do something here. So, and we're, of course, you probably know we're talking about superstitions tonight. Are you superstitious? Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
Some I find kind of ridiculous, but some I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna fathom the idea of even trying that one. But thank you anyway.
You're not gonna test the water, huh?
No, I'm good. Now, as far as the black cats can't help that they're black. I'm sorry, just like we can't help what we are.
Well,
you know what? I love cats in general, so.
Yeah, well, Kevin and I, we can't help the fact that we're fat. So, you know.
Fat cats. Fat cat.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Again, I've got a passenger we call Large Marge over here, so I'm good.
All right. Okay, let's let Kevin go ahead and talk about his black cats.
Yeah, the black cat. And I've got one, well, it's a tuxedo, but it's still a black cat, and she's nothing but good old cuddly fun. So I love black cats.
Yeah, but he's also got a house of haunted dolls, too. So.
Yeah, I do. Let's see. In Germany, some believe that black cats crossing a person's path from right to left is a bad omen. But from left to right, the cat is granting favorable times. The black cat in folklore has been able to change into human shape to act as a spy or a courier for witches or demons. When the Pilgrims arrived at Plymouth Rock, they brought with them a devout faith in the Bible. They also brought a deepening suspicion of anything deemed of Satan and were deeply suspicious of other Christians, including those of the Catholic, Quaker, Anglican, and Baptist denominations. The Pilgrims viewed the black cat as a companion or a familiar to witches, who were said to use black cats as an integral part of their craft. These superstitions led people to kill black cats. There is no evidence from England of regular scale, large-scale massacres of satanic cats or of burning them in midsummer bonfires, as sometimes occurred elsewhere in Europe. In the present day, many Westerners, including Christian clergy, have black cats as pets whom they care for. In contrast, the supernatural powers ascribed to black cats were sometimes viewed positively. For example, sailors considering a ship's cat would want a black one because it would bring good luck. Sometimes fishermen's wives would keep black cats at home too, in the hope that they would be able.
Internet.
Oh, okay.
You're doing fine.
In the hope that they would be able to use their influence to protect their husbands at sea. In the folklore of Chelo of southern Chile, black cats are an important element that is needed when hunting for the treasure of the carbunculo. Black cats have been found to have lower odds of adoption in American shelters compared to other colors except brown, although black animals in general take more time to find homes. Some shelters also suspend or limit adoption of black cats around Halloween time for fear they will be tortured or used as living decorations for the holiday and then abandoned. Despite this, no one has ever documented in the history of humane work any relationship between adopting black cats and cats being killed or injured. When such killings are reported, forensic evidence is pointed to natural predators such as coyotes, eagles, or raptors as the likely cause. Limiting or suspending adoptions around Halloween also places more cats of all colors at risk of dying in shelters due to overcrowding. So August 17th is Black Cat Appreciation Day. Wayne H. Morris created the day in honor of his late sister June, who had a black cat named Sinbad. The day was chosen in memorial of June's passing. In the early days of television in the United States, many stations located on VHF Channel 13 used a black cat as a mascot in order to make sport of being located on an unlucky channel number, Channel 13. So, and also another thing that might be why black cats have had a bad reputation is that since the 1880s, the color black has been associated with anarchism. The black cat, in an alert fighting stance, was later adopted as an anarchist symbol. More specifically, the black cat, often called the sab cat or sabo tabby, is associated with anarcho-syndicalism, a branch of anarchism that focuses on labor organizing, including the use of wildcat strikes. In testimony before the court in a 1918 trial of industrial workers of the world leaders, Ralph Chaplin, who is generally credited with creating the IWW's black cat symbol, stated that the black cat was commonly used by the boys as representing the idea of sabotage. The idea being to frighten the employer by the mention of the name sabotage or by putting a black cat somewhere around. You know, if you saw a black cat go across your path, you would think, if you were superstitious, you are going to have a little bad luck. The idea of sabotage is to use a little black cat on the boss. So it seems like all this, to me, in my opinion, stems back to urban legend, basically. We're somewhere in the old days of history. You know, you got the Black Plague, so black was associated with that. Black was considered evil, witches, witchcraft. And so when this poor black cat comes along, poor little guy has to suffer because of his color.
Well, and we cannot help but notice you have black hair.
You probably used to, for you lost all yours or it went gray.
Okay, let's take a moment and let's pick Crazy Girl's brain here. So you call yourself Crazy Girl Oddities and Adventures. Let's talk about what your oddities. What do you do?
As far as oddities for me is like old dolls, anything antique-ish, furniture-wise. I collect anything antique-ish. As far as adventures, she's pretty. You know what? I actually have one that kind of looks like her. But as far as like adventures, I do the rando nodding. I do old abandoned houses, paranormal. I do ghost hunting. So, hi Georgia, the ghost hunter. So yeah, that's
Georgia the ghost hunter.
That's what I do.
Okay,
I found this one today at the antique store.
And the second half is adventures. So that's when you go to the abandoned buildings. Is that what you do on your YouTube channel?
Yep.
Okay.
And I do the rando nodding. As long as I have somebody with me, I do rando nodding. So the past couple of weeks, I haven't been able to get anybody to go with me because it's late at night when I go. So hopefully soon I'll find somebody brave enough to go with me. They got to drop their marbles if they want to go.
If we were in misery, we'd be there.
Misery.
Right. I also like to investigate. I also like to investigate the cemeteries, graveyards. I'll do 3 separate investigations. I'll do a daytime tour where we just go through, and then I'll do a daytime sweep with like the EMF detector.
Mm-hmm.
I have SLS. I have an SLS Connects camera, and my third one, I'll end up doing a nighttime investigation. So I kind of get it all out there so everybody can read the headstones, get a good look at what they look like during the day, and then again do just basic daytime sweep. So
right. Okay, so how long have you been involved in this?
I have been doing, let's see, I'm 47 years old. I've been doing this for over 25 years. I just have not recorded it. I've just been doing it up until this past January. I started doing YouTube, and I'm like, oh man, all the fun things I wish I could have, all the fun things that I did that I wish I would have recorded. Would have been a blast.
Well, that was the first 2/3 of my life. We didn't have all this, so
exactly. So
you know,
yeah.
So you had to take my word for it. This happened. Yeah. So again, we're talking. Yeah, I do a lot of weddings, so I want to talk a minute about the superstitions, and people do not realize about weddings how much of the ritual that we do for a wedding ceremony is involved in superstitions. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll go back to some of what Kevin's doing. So one thing in weddings, and I don't see much of that. I do a lot of weddings, by the way. So I do literally thousands of weddings. Used to, very rarely anymore, but the bride was supposed to be wearing something old, something new, something barred, and something blue. And
something blue.
Yeah, something blue. So the something old represents the bride's past. Something new symbolizes the couple's happy future. And the something borrowed was supposed to be borrowed from somebody that was happily married. So it would influence her good fortune in her marriage. And then something blue would denote fidelity and love. Yes, yeah, that's kind of superstition. Wearing the veil is even more superstitious. And then again, you don't see much or hear much of the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue anymore. And you don't see a lot of brides wearing the veil anymore. I could count on one hand the times that I've seen a bride wear a veil in the last couple of years. But the custom originated in Rome, and a bride would wear the veil down the aisle to disguise herself from evil spirits who were jealous of her happiness. And then, of course, that first look, which that's changed a lot too. The traditional way is that the groom would not see the bride dressed and all dustied up until she came down the aisle. Nowadays, due to photography, a lot of times they'll do a first look for pictures prior to the ceremony. But the first look also had some superstitions, and it was around the fact that most marriages were arranged marriages. And people believed that if the couple saw each other before the ceremony, it would give them a chance to change their minds about the wedding. In other words, he would see how ugly she was and he'd run. How many couples choose to meet up and even have portrait sessions before? Well, anyway, we know that's very common. Another thing, we've had rain. I don't know, have y'all been getting much rain in Missouri?
Not really. Not the past week. We haven't.
Oh, we've got an abundance of rain this year.
Up, I think it's supposed to start up tomorrow night. The rain.
Well,
Saturday.
Believe it or not, if it rains on your wedding,
Saturday the rain.
Yeah, if it rains on your wedding, it's good luck, because rain symbolizes fertility and cleansing. So if a couple wedding is interrupted by a torrential downpour, 9 months later to the day of the wedding, they might have a baby. So anyway, but you had to have this you got to have water for something to grow, bottom line. A lot of these you don't hear anymore. Knives as wedding gifts. According to folklore, a knife signifies a broken relationship, and it's bad luck to give as a wedding gift. If knives are on your registry, just give the gift giver a penny. That way it's a purchase, not a gift. Isn't that interesting?
I wouldn't want to give my new spouse a
That
knife.
is interesting.
Yeah. Carrying the
That
bride
is
over the
interesting,
threshold.
though.
Yeah. So I don't know. We don't follow these people home to see if the groom actually carries his bride over the threshold anymore. But this superstition began in medieval Europe, where many believed that a bride was extra vulnerable to evil spirits through the soles of her feet. And to avoid bringing any evil spirits into the house, the groom carried the bride into their new home. Okay? And I'll give some more of that later, but those are some interesting little tidbits of wedding superstitions. Yeah. So what are you superstitious? You said you had some superstitions, crazy girl. What's the biggest superstition you've got? The most recognizable thing that you think about?
I will not. I don't like. Nope. Ain't gonna walk under a ladder.
Oh, okay.
Ain't gonna happen.
Kevin.
I am a redhead, and this would be me, and the ladder would have eyeballs going. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
There you go.
I'm waiting. As soon as I walk past it, it would go down.
Yeah, well, that'd probably be a pail of paint or a hammer on that ladder. And you might turn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the right color of paint, you could turn it into a blonde real quick.
I don't look good as a blonde either. We've tried that one and it don't work out.
Well,
you ever see the hills have a wrong turn?
Yeah.
You ever see
the whole thing.
Wrong turns?
No.
Yeah.
You know the crazy younger brother? That I look like him with short hair.
In the original movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blonde, short hair, and I look like him.
So you are naturally a redhead.
Yes.
So redheads have fair skin.
Yeah.
Right. And so fair skin usually don't go very good with blonde hair.
No. Or black either. I'm way too pale for black too.
Yeah.
So I have to stick with a more neutral color. So I typically go just a brighter red, but yeah, I think I'm over the whole standing out bright red thing.
Well, redheads. I know you got a temper and whatnot, but you know.
That's stereotyping.
Look at her. All right, so Kevin, do you have the history?
You're giving away all my secrets now.
Oh, come on. As you know, there's no secrets here. Come on.
No, this guy over here.
You got that right.
Yeah, Vlad, I've learned not to post just any picture. I'm going to be scarred for life. Yeah. Oh, was that too loud?
I got you on that one.
Yeah. So in a little bit, we'll have to replay of his twerking last week.
Oh, come on. We've seen enough of that.
Oh, I did like that. I did comment on your video when you posted that. I was like,
I saw that.
Oh, you gotta love it.
All right. So, Kevin, do you have the history of the ladder superstition in front of you?
The what superstition? The ladder superstition?
Yeah.
No. I can pull it up.
Pull it up. Let's talk about the ladder, since that's her big superstition.
Since I do all the work around here, let's see. I can pull up a quick article.
You do what?
You crazy. I was just gonna say that I don't know. I lost it when he said something.
It's all right. We still got an hour and a half. You'll think.
Yeah. But I got something about the ladder here.
Oh no.
All right. Is walking under a ladder really bad luck? The superstition of the ladder is said to have originated around 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. Ladders were left in the tombs of the deceased so that they could ascend up to the heavens when they were ready. The Egyptians believed that the space between the ladder and the wall was home to good and evil spirits. If disturbed, the spirits would be angered, so it was forbidden for anyone to walk beneath a ladder. It's well known that triangles, like the triangle beneath a ladder, it's well known that triangles, like the triangle beneath a ladder, look a lot like a pyramid. So, long after the ancient Egyptians, the idea of the sacred triangle beneath the ladder continued to exist. In Christianity, the triangle is used to represent the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So it was believed that walking under the ladder was blasphemous. The superstition did not end there. Later in the 1600s, criminals were made to walk underneath ladders on their way to the gallows. So all throughout history, the superstition has stuck. Now, can you reverse the curse? There's a rhyme, reverse the curse. As much as you want to avoid walking under a ladder, you might have to sometimes, but don't worry, there are some things you can do to avoid angering the gods. Here are a few different remedies you can use to reverse your bad luck. Number 1, cross your fingers and don't uncross them until you come across a dog. Good luck with this one. Number 2, walk backwards under the ladder and take a different route. Number 3, make a wish while you're walking under the ladder. And number 4, say the words bread and butter as you walk under the ladder. At this point, it's probably less hassle if you just avoid walking underneath the ladder at all to begin with. While we can't promise you that our ladders have been blessed for good luck, we can tell you that they're high quality, long lasting, and very affordable. This was an ad for a ladder company. Okay.
So Crazy Girl, you got it there. If you walk under a ladder, you just got to say bread and butter. Is that what it is?
Yeah, bread and butter. Or you got to cross your fingers until you see a dog, which may take you a while.
Or walk backwards back through the ladder.
Yeah, I just say bread and butter.
So there's ways to nullify the effect.
I just avoid it all in general. Just avoid that.
But what if you're walking?
There's a few more steps to go around.
Yeah, but what if you're walking around and you go to abandoned buildings and whatnot? So you're walking around and you cut a corner, and while cutting the corner, you didn't realize there was a ladder you're walking under. And all of a sudden, you're standing under the ladder.
And then I'm cussing myself.
You just say, all you gotta do is say bread and butter.
Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter.
That's the last thing I'm going to even remember is to say bread and butter.
Okay.
I just keep going and cuss at myself, going, I should have paid more attention.
It sounds like to me that you are the bad luck of walking under a ladder.
Hey, call it as you see it.
All right. What's the next superstition you're going to talk about there, Mr. Kevin?
Oh, let's see. I like this nice southern. This is a southern tradition down here now.
Welcome down here to the South.
I want to tell about this here southern tradition right quick because I kind of like these are kind of neat to look at when I see them out here. Let me get a picture of it so you know what I'm talking about here.
What you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis? We are talking about, and it's customary to have them blue, but
you're talking about the roof of your porch. No, the bottle, the spirit bottles. I know what that's for.
Oh,
that's to trap the spirits.
Yep.
Yeah, it traps the spirits in the bottles.
Yeah, here we go.
So if you go to Okahaba, you know where I'm talking about. The ghost town. It used to be a state capital in Alabama, and the little building they've got there for where the employee, whatever stays, they've got some of those bottle trees, and they did not even know why they had them there. So I gave them a little bit of education. Yeah. Now go ahead and talk about that.
Okay.
Something else I want to learn about and talk about, since we're in the color blue, is the color that people paint their porch ceilings.
Yes, the Hank blue.
Yeah, the Hank blue.
All right. Well, here we go.
Yep.
Bottle trees are one of the many unique sites in the South. You'll spot them in areas that make up the Old South, particularly in states like Georgia, Mississippi, the Carolinas, and Virginia. They left off Alabama, but I've seen some here. As a Southern tradition, bottle trees are always made from blue glass bottles. They could be wine or beer bottles. One saves over the course of several years.
There's plenty of those around here.
The bottles are placed over the branches of a dead tree or rod that stick upright out of the ground. Today, you will find bottle trees in gardens across North America, mainly because of their unique beauty. You can even find them in garden shows around the world. People have been creating these trees in southern states for hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
However, their history dates back much further in time. The folklore that surrounds the origin of bottle trees is truly fascinating. Glass bottles began circulating through Africa, Egypt, and Mesopotamia in 1600 BC. The belief that spirits could live in these bottles quickly followed. The hope was that by hanging the bottles in a tree, evil spirits would find their way into the wine bottles, thinking it's somewhere that they can take possession of. And because these evil spirits are often very, very stupid, they become stuck in the bottle.
That's because they're spirits from Alabama.
Since they would not be able to find their way back out again, they would remain in the bottle until morning.
And that's why you hear that noise around them. They're crying, let me out.
The morning sun would then destroy the spirits.
That was a short-lived affair.
The folk art tradition of creating bottle trees carried over to the people of the Congo starting in the 9th century. African people brought the tradition of bottle trees with them when the slave trades began in the 17th century. During this time, African slaves on southern plantations began placing bottles on trees. They commonly used crepe myrtle trees, a tradition that may be connected to the myrtle tree's significance to slaves in the Bible. In the Old Testament, the crepe myrtle tree is a reoccurring image that represents freedom and escape from slavery. The creation of bottle trees during this section of history rooted the tradition in United States Southern culture. Blue, specifically cobalt blue, is by far the most popular color for bottle trees. The belief is that these particular bottles have healing powers. The legend says that people tend to associate the color blue with ghosts and spirits, which makes it an even more popular color for these trees. Today, blue remains the most dominant color for bottle trees. However, bottle trees often have multiple color bottles. You can still see many of these blue bottle trees as yard art in gardens throughout the South. They are a stark reminder of a tradition that has carried on for centuries and that still uniquely represents the American South. You won't only just find bottle trees in the South. A Southern California desert is home to Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch on Route 66. Well, who would have guessed? Elmer Long turned his bottle collection into a bottle tree forest. Be sure to visit the folk art attraction next time you're in Oro Grande, California. Admission is free, but feel free to leave a donation. So it's spread out to the southwest over there.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Interesting. So now what about the Hank blue ceilings on the porches of these old homes?
You want me to talk about that, or you already got something pulled
No,
up there?
I'm talking about the wedding stuff. I'm gonna leave that to you here.
Yeah, oh, okay then. Let's see. Hank Blue, Superstition.
Very
Yeah.
superstitious.
And this is also a Southern tradition too. Have you ever passed by a Southern home with the front porch clearly visible and noticed the ceiling painted blue?
Ah,
Truth be told, from an outsider's perspective, it seems to be an odd thing to want to paint a ceiling blue. But once you come to notice one with the light blue shade, you'll find that the rest have followed suit on that street. Is this someone's trendy touch to their home, or is there a deeper meaning?
there's a deeper meaning.
This blue, and I want to put up, they got a good picture here I'm going to put up here before I continue here. So y'all can see, I kind of think it's purty.
Is it pretty?
Yeah. I wouldn't get the creeps looking at this. You'd think it was just some pretty color here. Look.
Just really, really pretty.
Here we go, right there on the screen. There's you some Hank Blue under the porch and up there above. And, all right. So where did I leave off? Okay. This blue, this blue is no ordinary blue. For over 300 years, Southerners have been painting their porch ceilings Hank Blue out of tradition and slight superstition. From seaside towns and coastal gems to landlocked cities like Atlanta, you can find this blue ceiling on a number of Southern porches in a variety of cool misty blue shades to bright turquoises. The Hank Blue ceiling is a multi-century old tradition started from the Gula people who brought this superstition over from Africa. Now, let me scroll down. They got a bunch of pretty pictures on this thing. All right, you stupid ads. Here we go. These stupid ads.
Get rid of them ads. Get them ads out of there.
To understand why it is called Hank Blue, you first need to know what a haint is. A haint is a restless spirit that has not yet moved on to the afterlife. Haints tend to be mischievous and dubious and will enter your home and wreak havoc on your family and your belongings. Essentially, you don't want a visit from a haint as they have some animosity lingering and will cause stress and frights to your children. However, haints have a weakness. They are afraid of water. The blue of water scares them, and they tend to stay away from anything that looks like water and is colored as such. So the Gula people decided to keep haints out of their home by painting their porch ceilings blue. The haints, who are then floating above a home, would see this color on the porch ceiling and keep away from that house, protecting the family inside from the haunting haints and their destructive tendencies. Although the superstition of haints and their mischievous actions have waned in the past decades, the tradition remains to paint your ceiling a light blue when you have a porch in the South. Some claim that it keeps the porch cooler. Others claim it's a repellent for bugs, but yet some are hell-bent that it extends the daylight hours for some odd reason. Whichever way you want to spin it, the Hank Blue ceiling has become iconic to Southern exteriors and coastal towns. And I say it's beautiful, going by that picture there.
Well, they did a good job on that one, didn't they?
Yeah. There's another prettier picture. Let me pull it up here that was breathtaking here. I like this beautiful house. I love beautiful old homes like this.
Take your
Let's
breath.
see here. This is an old house called Beaufort where these pictures are from. Let me pull up this next picture of that same house. And come on. There you go. Right there. Kind of small here, but you can see upstairs there, that blue painted over.
Oh, yeah.
The balcony.
Yeah.
To keep them spirits out. Now, I've always wanted to own an old, antebellum home like that.
And they also say that for some reason it keeps insects away too. So.
Yeah. I just put out bug zappers, but anyway.
Yeah, zap them bugs. And speaking of insects, back to weddings now. What if at your wedding and you're wearing your wedding gown and you find a spider on your wedding gown? Well, some people would think that'd be horrible, but English lore claims that finding a spider in your wedding dress is a good omen. I remember years ago, oh man, a bunch of years ago now, I was doing a wedding outside at a place called Matthews Manor up in Springville, Alabama. And we were, myself, the couple, and the bridal party are standing up in a gazebo. And she's got on a veil, a rarity. And I always have the couple facing each other, holding hands. It's about them, it's not about me. And during the ceremony, all of a sudden, he starts this, but it's on the other side of her face. I can't tell what's going on. I thought, my perverted mind, I'm thinking, don't beat her until after you're married, A wasp had gotten up in her veil. I didn't know. I couldn't see why he's doing that. But yeah, a wasp, God, we lost her again. A wasp got up in her veil. So that was a very interesting moment. What about using your married name before the wedding? Some think it's tempting fate for the bride to write out her married name or monogram before she's actually married, and that the wedding will not take place if she does so. So if you're superstitious, save the monogramming for your reception decor and registry items. Oh, there she is. Hello.
Yes, there she is.
Long time no see.
Right.
Yeah. So we're just talking about some more wedding superstitions here.
Wedding superstition.
Crossing a nun or a monk's path. This is probably one you've never heard of. A bride who sees a nun or a monk on the way to her wedding is said to be cursed with a barren life dependent on charity if she were crossed the path of a nun or a monk on her way to her wedding. What about the ringing of bells? Bells are traditionally chimed at Irish weddings to keep evil spirits away and to ensure a harmonious family life. Some Irish brides even carry small bells in their bouquets as a reminder of their sacred wedding vows, and they are a common gift for newlyweds. And then in Jewish weddings and a couple of other cultures, she disappeared again.
There she is.
You will find, you've heard of the breaking of the glass?
Yeah.
So in Italy, where they break a lot of glass because they drink a lot of wine, many newlyweds smash a vase or a glass at the wedding. They put a lot of muscle into it. The tradition says that however many pieces the glassware breaks into will symbolize how many years you'll be happily married.
I think the Greeks use plates for that, don't they? Greek people.
Yeah, they'll throw plates, and sometimes they don't. I did a Jewish wedding, and they had the glass in, like, wrapped in a towel or something, and they crushed it. They call it crushing the glass. But they've also seen people that'll throw the glass or a plate into a fireplace, if there's one handy. Crying on your wedding day is supposed to be good luck for the bride to cry on her wedding day because it symbolizes that she has just shed all her tears and will not have any to shed during her marriage. So go ahead, get teary-eyed. Just be sure to wear some waterproof mascara. Interesting thing about the crying on the wedding day, more likely than not, and I've done thousands of weddings, the bigger and badder the groom, he's the one that's going to cry, and the bride will sit there and start giggling at him during the ceremony.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other things that's not covered in what I just read there, but why do they have groomsmen and bridesmaids? And it used to, before they changed things up, for a bridal party, all the bridesmaids would be dressed identical to the bride. And people used to be more frugal back in the day, so the bride never spent all this money for a bridal gown. She just pulled her favorite dress out of the closet. And then the bridesmaids would dress in similar dresses, same color, because again, they were afraid of evil spirits, and so they wanted to confuse, like spirits couldn't tell which one was the bride, right?
So, well, they can't find a way out of a bottle, so I guess they can't.
I guess they got some. No wonder they don't talk very coherently to you when you try to talk to them.
They are stupid.
They can only use 1 or 2 words at a time. Is this Jack that got killed here? Yes.
Was it Jack Spratt?
No. And garble stuff. You have to really fine tune it to understand what they're saying. We've been at this almost an hour, not quite. We have a new guest with us tonight, Crazy Girl from the state of Missouri. Missouri.
Missouri.
You got it right the first time.
Yeah.
First time was correct.
Look for her on YouTube under Crazy Girls, Oddities and Adventures, and subscribe to her channel.
Adventures, yep.
She does. We do abnormal things, and she does crazy things. So there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll just have normally crazy things.
And there you go. It all melds together into one big happy family.
Normal happy family.
Exactly.
And then of course we have the Kevin the flute playing twerking. So now last week you didn't do it appropriately. Crazy Girl is the one that prompted you to stand up and twerk. And I said, you need to twerk while playing the flute.
No.
Do we have?
Yeah, that would have been. Oh,
yeah.
I'm waiting.
Okay. So here we go.
Wait a long time.
You're not going to go anywhere, but we're going to let Kevin take over.
And do what? What am I doing? I'm just sitting here. You want me to tell a story? I'm just sitting here.
All right. So what's Crazy Girl got for us? What are you going to tell us, Crazy Girl? Look at that doll. Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, let's show us that doll behind you.
Which one?
There's multiple dolls.
The black-headed one behind her.
He thought it was one big doll because all the pixelation.
Yeah, that one. There
it is.
There it is. Yeah. Now, what's her name?
Duh.
Duh.
The way cute.
I let them tell me, so I don't know yet. I've got quite a few. Here, I'm going to do a little roundabout. This is just my living room.
Can you see those, Kevin?
Yeah, I see.
Oh, there they are. Look at
blurry,
that.
But I can see there's dolls there.
Mm.
Oh, I see a big tall one over there.
It looks like almost a wedding dress on there.
It's like a spirit girl standing over there going, ooh.
Yeah, and I got one that I really, really like. He's really cute, and he's kind of hard to see unless I point him out. Let's see.
Oh, I see. There's a wedding.
He is. He's on his little.
The blue?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. What's he on? Was it a bicycle?
That's a horse, isn't it?
Oh, I have to know. I can't tell what it was.
It looks like a rocking horse, but it's a bicycle.
A bicycle.
It looks like a horse.
Okay.
All right. So, do you do a spirit box session with any of these, like Kevin does?
Yep. I do spirit box sessions. I do pendulums, or dowsing rod, and I have dowsing rods. I have the necrophonic app.
So you had good luck with it?
I've got one that looks like her, and I was looking for her a minute ago, and I don't know where she is. Kevin, did you sneak to my house and take my dog?
No, I didn't sneak. I found this antique store today.
See, you got to understand, crazy girl, that Kevin doesn't have to sneak and do that. He sends one of his evil spirit dolls to do it for him.
I don't have you. Do you hear that? He said, evil.
Yeah, right.
You're not evil. Yeah, you're not evil, are you?
What do you think? What do you think of the necrophonic app? How's that work for you?
I like the necrophonic app, but I always have to listen back to my footage to be able to capture some of them, because sometimes there's so much, and there's so many different voices, so many levels of the volume of voices,
right,
that I have to go back over it and check my footage out 2-3 times to make something out.
So does the app allow you to record it as it's doing its thing?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I haven't seen it do that.
Oh, so you got that app as well, don't you, Kevin?
Yeah, I've done it on a couple of my live feeds in recent months.
Yeah.
And it's got, you can make, the only function I've seen, it's got an echo where you can make the responses echo as they come through.
Well, that way you can sound like Steve Huff. She's lost.
There's like different. No, there's different options on the necrophonic app. On the bottom right hand side, are you pulling yours up, Kevin? I'm pulling mine up too.
Yeah, here's mine.
So why don't you grab one of your dolls and y'all do a joint session right now?
Echo and reverb.
And then you can hit the white noise underneath.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Does that eliminate the white noise?
Hell no. Does anything eliminate the white noise?
I turn the radio off and it goes away.
It would make it too much. I know, it'd make it too easy.
So why don't you pick out a doll and y'all simultaneously do a spirit box session with one of your dolls?
Playing both our apps?
Yeah. Well, you can use your real spirit box thing instead of the app. You got it handy?
Yeah, but that may be so much noise. We might cancel each other out here. I don't know.
So, crazy girl, which doll would you like to try to communicate with Kevin?
I'm going to go get mine.
Okay.
Or are we doing one of Kevin's? Or are we both getting different dolls?
Well,
do one of yours.
Yeah, one of yours, because I've done mine before on here.
Do one of Crazy Girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have a live spirit box session with one of Crazy Girls' dolls, all the way from the state of Missouri. Here, live on Abnormal Alabama. We're live streaming all over Facebook and on YouTube. 2 different places on YouTube. My Haunted Dolls, Kevin Kane YouTube, as well as Abnormal Alabama. And also, I've got it embedded on abnormalalabama.com. So anywhere you'd like to visit. So if you go to abnormalalabama.com, I have a store. You can buy shirts like this one that says "Live in Peace." We don't rip, we lip. And by the way, Kevin, that is one of my latest books. It's called Lip, L-I-P.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So what does this doll have a name yet, or do you need to find the name?
I still need to find a name for this one. She's an old composition doll. She is stuffed with hay.
Oh,
she doesn't even have the mechanical eyes.
Well, I've got her name already.
What?
Haley.
Haley, like hay?
Yeah, because she's stuffed with hay. Haley.
Look at that face.
Hey.
Kevin is real good about getting names for these dolls. So hold this girl up there, and I'm gonna take myself out of here so Kevin can focus.
Well,
Do his what, Kevin?
well, well, now you've tainted my mind with Haley now. So
no, forget
yeah,
Haley. Here, look at me, Kevin. Clear your mind. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind.
Okay. Well, the first thing that popped in my head was Roberta. I don't know if that's. It's kind of hard to get a read on her through video. Is it supposed to be the spirit of a woman, or is it because I keep getting an older female spirit?
I have gotten response wise, I have gotten a male and so I've gotten an older female, but a younger boy.
A younger boy. Okay. I thought there was kind of a mix going on there. So it's kind of. So yeah, have you ever gotten the name Roberta in any of the spirit boxes?
I haven't. Unless I did, and I did capture it. I did, because sometimes things go, and I did multiple. I did like spirit box, and then I did the pendulum, and then I did try dowsing rods to kind of go with the answers that I was getting from the pendulum.
Okay.
To see if they'd still be the same.
And then Jeremy popped in my head for the boy.
Jeremy and Roberta.
Yeah, so that makes sense now because I got a young face, but I wasn't thinking girl. I was thinking, I thought, well, there's an older woman there, so what's with the child? It's like I didn't want to pull away from there being a child there. So there, yeah, there is there's two of them there.
And I kind of had the feeling that it was like a mother and son, or a aunt, nephew, grandmother, grandson.
Yeah, it might be grandmother, grandson.
But not in like it. You know how you would picture a grandmother, old, gray hair, not quite that far older.
Yeah, this isn't a crotchety old lady or anything. This is
right. It wasn't that type. It was like me. I have grandsons and I have a granddaughter. So I was getting closer, not 47, maybe closer between around 60s, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of young grandmothers. I got a friend who's in her late 40s that's just become a grandmother, and she's only like 48, I think. So there's young grandmothers too.
Right.
But that.
But then, like I said, I kept getting that little boy too.
Yeah. I would bet maybe try it in the next spirit box. Ask, Roberta, is your name Roberta and Jeremy? They might respond to that.
Oh, Kevin. Get your spirit box going and try
to talk. It's right here, there.
Well, I don't hear anything going there, bro.
We were discussing it.
I know. I'm
discussing it fully.
You're sitting there, and it's like, talk to this.
Okay, Mr. Eager, impatient.
I'm not impatient, but hurry up.
Grouchy old man.
I'm not grouchy, but we get it with it.
You got the poor puppy dog upset over there.
Oh no!
That dog.
Oh, Lord had mercy.
That dog's gone crazy here.
Okay, so I have two boxers, one 6 months old, and one. How old is Lucy? She's like 3 months old. I have a 10-year-old boxer and a 1.5-year-old basset hound. So they get in the middle of the
okay.
room, and what all they do is want to play.
Ah, okay.
Guess who joined us? Billy Bird.
Yes,
Get
Billy
your flute out.
Bird.
Get your flute out.
Get my flute out. Well, there's the flute right there.
All right. And Billy Bird, we're trying to talk Kevin into twerking as he
Oh,
plays the
as you
flute.
get over the tray here, I'm gonna you just so y'all
Yeah,
stop.
we're trying.
There we go.
Yeah, but you got to turn around and do that.
Oh, my God, here.
Kevin.
There.
Yay!
I gotta give it to Kevin. He is the best sport of anybody.
And he's the best one to get me stuck in all kinds of strange systemizations over here.
Kevin, I think you like it. You're a good twerker. I think Miley Cyrus could take some lessons from you.
Miley Cyrus. They give her some hairdo. Oh, well, she grew her hair back out, I think, lately. But anyway.
All right, let's get back to the serious business here.
Serious business.
So Kevin is going to try to communicate long distance to a doll that may have connections to an older woman named Roberta and a younger boy named what?
Jeremy.
So I'm gonna back away and let them have.
All right, let's see here. And I have the S box. I'm gonna cut this up a little bit here. I don't know if y'all can hear it over my little microphone here. Okay, we are here to speak to you on a friendly basis here. My name is Kevin. And don't tell it. Wait, somebody said, don't tell it. Well, I've already told my name. Too bad. So, I'm here just to get to know you a little bit here. See if you want to talk to us. And I hope you don't mind me talking to you. And I think I know what your names are. But if you could say it over the spirit box here that I'm holding in my hand. If you come close to that, I can probably pick you up here. Okay, I heard Karen. Is there someone named Roberta?
I heard the name Isaac.
Isaac? Is this Karen and Isaac?
It sounded like I heard Isaac a second time.
Are you with the doll over there with that we see on the camera with Crazy Girl? I heard somebody say crazy real faintly. Are you making the dog excited? I heard something fuzzy. I thought I heard the names Roberta and Jeremy. Is there someone named Roberta with that doll? How about Jeremy? So is it Karen?
Lucy.
What's got the dog so excited?
And if you look, she's got her EMF meter there.
That's a K2 meter. I see the line. Can you make that K2 meter on the doll light up? If you can, we'd love to see that. It's got a bunch of colors that go across the top if you touch it. I see a little bit of light on there.
Yeah, earlier I'd seen his lights on it too.
So is it Karen who's with the doll? Okay, this is off camera, but my flute just rolled. My flute just rolled on the desk, and
you got a rolling flute.
My doll, it's laying at her feet on the desk, and it just rolled. Did you just smooth my flute? So, are you with your grandson? I'm talking to the people with Crazy Girl's doll there on the sofa. Is that your grandson with you?
I heard it say, yeah.
Yeah. Does this doll belong to you?
This doll has been active since I've had her.
Yeah, just lit up the K2 pretty good there, as you said that. So where are you from? Are you from Missouri as well? K2 lit up again. And you like that K2 meter, don't you? It's lovely. So what do you and your grandson love to do?
Look at that light.
Really?
Look at that light.
I think I heard you start to talk. I'm sorry I talked over you. What do you and your grandson like to do? Do you travel? Uh-oh. Crazy Girl's feed is going. Ah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so we can get her back. So if y'all can back away. Count of three.
Back away.
3, 2, 1. Closing the door. Thank you.
Okay, she's back.
Wait, never mind. We're going to keep it open. Keep the box on.
Come on, Crazy Girl.
Come
to us. There you go. What'd she say? What'd you say, Crazy Girl?
I think it was her shut me down.
I know that light was going crazy.
Did you just turn off the camera?
Yeah.
I heard something.
I heard that. It said, fuck it.
I did not.
You did. Huh? And he said, I'm a spirit.
Did you turn the camera off? Crazy Girl's camera off?
Yeah, he said, fuck it. And then he came back and said, I'm a spirit. I heard him. I'm just quoting, Kevin. I'm quoting.
The lights lighting up, too.
Yeah.
Now, why are you using such harsh language?
Football.
Do you like to play football? Is that what the grandson likes to play? Does he like to toss the football around the house? There she goes again.
I told you, say bucket. No, I talked to.
Maybe I didn't hear. I thought I heard something else there. Is she coming there? She's coming back.
Ask the doll if the doll is cutting off the camera.
Okay, is that spirit there with the doll? Are you cutting off the camera? Do you keep knocking her offline?
Kevin, are you a social worker during the daytime?
What does that got to do with anything? Billy Bird asked some strange questions. Okay.
Billy Bird is your #1 fan.
How old is the grandson? Oh, there she goes. I think it's going to be a lost cause. I keep knocking off the.
No. Okay, let's talk about what we heard. Cut it off and let's talk.
Okay.
Talk what we heard.
I want to find out how old the grandson is. But I'll go ahead and. Wow, so how old is your grandson? I think I have the volume down. Can you say again? How old is your grandson? Pay no attention to the little bald man on the screen there. You gotta go cut him offline. Okay. She's probably not liking you right now. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and cut the spirit box off. So y'all back away. You spirits that don't belong here. You got to go back where you belong.
Now,
count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Now I understand what's going on. Kevin is a social worker for haunted dolls.
I'm not a social worker.
And he's actually, his house is nothing but a foster home for wayward dogs.
I just think I'm so smart.
All right, so let's go back. And Billy Bird, you're listening. Anybody else out there? Did anybody hear anything of any significance during our little outside of Crazy Girl keeps leaving us?
She fell off again.
I don't. Kevin, did you fart?
No, I did not. I think
Okay.
Billy Bird's here, and the Billy Bird's in there all over the world. There was social workers and farts and flutes and all that.
And twerky flute. Twerky flute. Welcome back, Crazy Girl.
Somebody fart. I was gonna say that sounded like more like a fart than a chew.
There you go. So
from the spirit box, or
so we don't know. That kind of came from your area.
it was a spirit box.
Why were you doing this?
That was a little bug.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
God.
All right. So go back and thinking about what you just heard, and of course you can replay this after it's archived and listen very carefully. So, did anybody get anything out of that? What did you hear? Anybody?
Well, aside from your shenanigans, I didn't hear. Oh, she's disappearing again. I didn't hear. I didn't hear Roberta or Jeremy off the spirit box, even though those are the first names that popped in my head beforehand. Oh, shh.
I'll just play the flute. So what now after that and what you felt earlier, what would you tell us or tell Crazy Girl about her doll?
Yeah, I think there is a spirit with it for sure. There was set off 2 meters. There was spirit box activity. Billy Bird farted. But no, there was K2 was really loud, especially when she said that she caused it. Turned out, and then the light flashed back there, like, yeah, it was me. So yeah, I think that
so
dog.
With that being said, I'm gonna go put her back in the other room, so maybe I can stay on for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, let's see if that works. All right. So Kevin, do you think that you now know anything about the dog that we didn't know before?
Yeah, I think she don't like you because you kept talking over her and making fun of me. No,
that's not true. I like him. I think he's the greatest thing I've ever
I think she's right. I think it's a grandmother and grandson together, and they like to have fun.
Yeah, don't we all?
And I think it might be the grandson being the prankster there.
Yeah, actually, I think it was Kevin.
I was just saying, I think it might be the grandson there that's being the practical joker.
Now, what's his name?
Yeah, I was feeling. I was thinking that too.
Well, I said Jeremy, but then y'all heard Isaac over the spirit box, so I don't know. But sometimes other spirits get in there and answer when they're not supposed to. So I don't know. I thought
that's been my concern is when I'm trying to do one in the same room when there's like hundreds of dolls in the same room. I don't know who I'm getting.
Yeah. That's why I've started coming
from this doll, but am I really picking up from over here?
That's why I come to this room if I want to do an individual. There's no haunted dolls in this office room. So I just come in here. And that tends to help, even though some might wander in here.
Yeah, but when you kind of confuse it when you fart, though. So
I did not. If I farted, you know.
I know you did because all of a sudden you were doing this. You were doing that.
You're jumping to conclusions.
I made it back.
There was a bug.
I hurried.
Right. See, crazy girl. We used to do this at my office over in Columbiana, so we were together. Yeah. And now I think you understand COVID didn't have anything to do with us doing it on this platform now. It's like there were some gaseous things going on. So
that was him over there stinking.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not the one that was doing this.
Look, I probably got a whiff of your mess through the microphone.
The only thing I can say about that is I'm sure that between the two, Catherine had to be running out of the room itself.
That's it. But yeah. Well, you do notice that after he twerked a while ago, it's when he farted. So
no, I did not fart. I did not fart. You old fart. I did not fart.
You just hope you live as long as I have.
I'm gonna live longer and happier.
Yeah. I look at her.
Oh, she's going again. Look, you done chased her off.
Okay, so it is now going on 8:30. We've been going for an hour and a half, and we have talked about superstitions. We've talked about haunted dolls.
Yeah, we've wandered off superstitions.
And so now we go back to superstitions. So Billy Bird, tell us, what is your big superstition? Kevin's twerking, Kevin's flute playing, or Kevin's farts?
Or Kelsey's shiny head.
Multiple choice question. I'm surprised you didn't play the flute. So what's your next superstition there? By the way, it's going on 8:30. Kevin over there is Kevin Kane, My Haunted Dolls, myhauntedolls.com. Got to be a good weatherman to figure this out. He's working on it. What's the title of your 14th book?
Dark Awakening and Others. Is it Other Tale? Yeah. Other Tales for Midnight Hour.
All right. So you can find all his stuff at myhauntedolls.com. Make sure you subscribe. to his YouTube channel, My Haunted Dolls. Prescribe. Make sure you go to our Facebook page. He's got My Haunted Dolls on Facebook. You can join his group. You can also come over to Abnormal Alabama on Facebook and join us over there. We have a big time over there. Kevin also has a Patreon account, and
yes.
you can subscribe to Patreon with just a very small donation.
Yeah, I've already got 2 subscribed, so the rest of y'all come on down and subscribe.
So Billy Bird says, I have tapped my head 3 times and jumped on foot before bed. What? On one foot. Whatever that means. You're holding your headphones. Did you hear something? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's that wheel of death again.
The wheel of death. We got 30 minutes.
Wheel of death keeps on turning.
You prepared some superstition stories, so get with it, bro.
Okay, I was going to talk about one of the more popular ones here, and that is superstitions that surround the mirror, particularly broken mirrors. Oh, 7 years bad luck. How did the superstition that broken mirrors cause bad luck start, and why does it still exist? Every human culture has superstitions. In some Asian societies, people believe that sweeping a floor after sunset brings bad luck and that it's a curse to leave chopsticks standing in a bowl of rice. In the U.S., some people panic if they accidentally walk under a ladder or see a black cat cross their path, like I discussed earlier. Also, many tall buildings don't label their 13th floors as such because of that number's association with bad luck. The origins of many superstitions are unknown. Others can be traced to specific times in history. Included in this second category is a superstition that is between 2,000 and 2,700 years old, and that is breaking a mirror. Breaking a mirror brings 7 years of bad luck. It so happened that in both ancient Greece and the Roman Empire, reflected images were thought to have mysterious powers. It is likely in one of these times and places that the broken mirror superstition began its rise in popularity. So, the historical origins. The Greeks believed that one's reflection on the surface of a pool of water revealed one's soul. But it was Roman artisans who actually learned to manufacture mirrors from polished metal surfaces and believed their gods observed souls through these devices. To damage a mirror was considered so disrespectful that people thought it compelled the gods to rain bad luck on anyone so careless. Around the 3rd century, mirrors were being made from glass, and breakage became a lot more commonplace. But the Romans did not believe that the ensuing bad luck would last forever. They believed that the body renewed itself every 7 years. The belief that good luck would eventually return was surely comforting, and people have always tended to believe things that make them feel good, even when untrue. The human mind continuously and unconsciously searches for useful patterns. For example, we survive by recognizing feeding patterns and put ourselves in the right places at the right times for meals. We also avoid injury or death when crossing a busy street by recognizing traffic patterns. Getting fed and avoiding being squashed in traffic both involve learning real cause and effect patterns. Sometimes, however, our brains infer cause and effort patterns that aren't real. Suppose that a friend gives you a lucky penny. You're skeptical, but a few days pass and nothing bad happens. Though it's only a coincidence, your brain may infer a pattern, and you may begin to believe that the penny actually did cause the run of good luck. And so a superstition is born. We also acquire superstitious beliefs during socialization. learning about them from parents and other trusted authorities while still young and open to a world full of magical possibilities. Then our superstitions circulate indefinitely among families and friends, reinforced by word of mouth, social media, and mass media. The more people there are supporting the superstition, the more believable it will seem and the longer it will persist. If a superstition happens to make us more cautious around mirrors, there's no harm in that. More generally, superstitions can lower stress and improve performance when we find ourselves in difficult situations. They also can be fun and interesting to talk about and promote group solidarity. On the other hand, one does need to proceed with caution. Superstitions are false beliefs that can often produce anxiety and guilt. They can make us feel responsible for bad outcomes we didn't cause, for bad outcomes we didn't cause, or waste our energy seeking untenable shortcuts to desired outcomes. Common sense alone ought to be reason enough to deter us from smashing mirrors. So this author of this article believes that it's a bunch of hoopla.
It's a hoopla.
But I like that historical background there about the reflection and the power they believe was behind it.
Yes.
And that the gods use those mirrors to watch us.
Well, listen, that brings to mind another very scary urban legend type mirror story that started a long time ago. In the 1800s, there was a girl by the name of Mary. An illness washed over the place where they lived, making people drop dead after a short period of time. When physicians couldn't find a pulse, or when they put a mirror under the nose of the seemingly dead, there might not always be condensation on it from their breaths. So the fallen would be easily assumed to be dead. But were they? Cases of people who were pronounced dead but weren't happened often. So when one would die, people would put a small hole in the coffin and put a piece of string through the hole that was attached to the bell. The bell would hang on a stick by the homes of the deceased, and if they woke up, they would simply pull the string, ring the bell, and we'd be dug up. Of course, when Mary was to be bedridden and slowly died, she was laid in a coffin in her grave. She wasn't to be buried under just yet. It would be easier to unnail the coffin she was put away in. The string and the bell was, of course, on hand. Days passed, then up to a week. Her parents never left the house, wishing with their very being that their sweet Mary would awaken again. Friends of the parents claimed that if she had not awoken yet, that she never would. That day, the parents left the house with their friends at their behalf. When her parents had gone, a neighbor came and began to fill her grave, string and all, just in case she would wake up if she was still alive, and so before she suffocated. The neighbor had said his remorse and later walked into his house. Not soon after, Mary awoken from her slumber. She pulled the string to the bell that wouldn't be heard by her parents who were out, and the neighbor who was too far away. She pulled and pulled the string until the bell fell, and so did the stick. She began clawing and scratching her wooden prison until her fingers bled. Then she cut, scratching till she breathed her last breath. When her parents arrived home, the father soon realized that the bell was yards away from where it was originally, and soon called for his wife to come and help him dig up their daughter. When they dug, they threw and unlatched the coffin and found Mary in a petrified state, her hands like claws covered in blood. Same with her white dress she was buried in. They put a mirror up under her nose to see her breast if it would show. Condensation was shown on the mirror, but even so, she was dead. Her spirit is said to have attached to the mirror And now, whenever one says Bloody Mary 3 times, she comes and she claws at the unknowing victim. This is but one of the sad stories to be about her demise. There's plenty of others. But that's why you look into a mirror and you say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, look out. You could be in big, big trouble.
Oh. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Okay, all three. There's 3 of us. Bloody Mary,
Bloody Mary,
Bloody Mary,
Bloody
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
All right. We'll see which one of y'all. We'll see which one of you two wake up with scratches tomorrow.
I'm waiting for
work
Billy
that
Bird's
way.
face to show up there going, oh, it's me.
Billy Bird. Billy Bird did it. Billy Bird. Billy Bird is Mary.
I got an interesting superstition article here that I know, especially Kelsey's gonna love the end of it here.
Okay, let's have it.
This is the 11 scary superstitions about death that will not let you sleep at night.
Who needs sleep?
Death is an inevitable part of our lives, no matter what you do, but there is no escaping it.
For most of you.
Yet it is somehow the thing we all fear, not me. Whatever may be the reason, death has led to a number of eerie superstitions, and here are 11. And these go by pretty quick, so we got time. Okay, number 1 is the rule of 3. It is believed that death hunts 3 at a time. So if you receive news of death of a loved one, soon you might hear the news of 2 more people passing away. Interestingly, this weird superstition is popular in most of the countries of the world, and in America, it's most popular among celebrity deaths. I've always heard that they go 3 at a time. Okay, number 2, the third matchstick light superstition. This is an extremely weird superstition that probably became popular after the 2 Great Wars. According to this superstition, 3 people should not light their cigarettes with 1 match. Apparently, the third person to light the cigarette with the matchstick will soon die. Number 3, birds and death. If you have watched Alfred Hitchcock's films, then you know how scary birds can be. In many cultures, birds like owls and crows are seen as a symbol of death. An owl hooting right over your head at night means death is just around the corner. Just like owls, crows too are connected with death. It is said that witnessing 6 crows often means that death is nearby. Number 4, the butterfly of death superstition. The Mexican black witch moth is also known as the butterfly of death. This moth's association with death dates back to the days of the Aztecs. The South American people believe that if this moth is sighted in someone's house, then either a recently deceased person has come to meet a loved one or someone who is ill is about to die. Number 5, souls in the hair. After hearing this strange Mongolian ritual, you would think twice before chopping off your hairs. Well, Kelsey don't have to worry about this. According to this superstition, souls that are wandering around often latch onto other people's hair and start residing there. Many people, therefore, consult a witch doctor before getting a haircut to check if there is any soul in their hair. If you cut your hair while the soul is residing there, then you will soon die. Number 6, middle person in a photo superstition. The camera has been one of the few electronic devices which has become a part of many strange superstitions and beliefs. While some believe that cameras can become haunted and can steal a person's soul, there are others who believe that the middle person in a photo, when you take it, is likely to die before the other 2 persons. This superstition is quite popular in Japan. Number 7, empty space in a fresh baked bread superstition. This superstition is quite popular in England. In England, people believe that if you cut a fresh baked bread and find an empty space inside it, then it symbolizes that death is coming for somebody at the table. The hollow space is believed to be a symbolic representation of a coffin. Ooh. Number 8, tuck your thumbs in if you pass a graveyard superstition. Or I've heard it, cross your fingers, but whatever. Like many others, this one too is quite popular in Japan. In Japanese, thumbs translate into the parent finger. When the Japanese people pass a graveyard, they tuck or hide their thumb as it protects them from death. There is another superstition which tells of holding your breath while passing a graveyard. I've heard that too. If you do not do so, a wandering soul might enter your body through your mouth. Number 9, the cedar tree superstition. Many communities associate cedar trees with death. According to some people, one should never try to transplant a young cedar tree to a different location. If you do so, then you are inviting death. Once the young tree's limbs grow to the length of your coffin, your death is inevitable. Ooh. Number 10.
This is my troublemaker.
Oh, there it is.
That is my troublemaker.
Yeah, it's like the dog on the Little Rascals.
That's like the.
I was about to get to your favorite part of this article.
Oh, come on. What are you waiting for?
I'm trying to get there.
I get there.
Number 10. Huh?
Billy Bird said Lucy wants cam time, so I was giving it to her. Now maybe quiet.
It's Billy Bird's fault.
Oh, Billy Bird.
Okay. Yeah, right. So
Billy Bird, you're making Kevin jealous.
Billy Bird, I'm talking here. So number 10, burning a cake on Christmas superstition. Bread and cakes seem to have a weird connection with death. Burning a cake on Christmas is considered to be a very bad omen. The death comes looking for the person who burns the cake. Now, I guess you would give second thoughts on baking a cake this Christmas. And now, number 11. Let's get. Oh, quit pointing at me. Let's get Kelsey ready for giggles here. Number 11, the penis superstition. Yes, that's what I said. The penis superstition. Go ahead and laugh there, Kelsey.
Stop.
Now,
let's have it.
This is one of the weirdest superstitions you will ever hear of. According to Turkish superstition, if a woman dreams of a penis, then a close male member might soon die. No one knows how this absurd superstition came into existence. I say it's Kelsey. But these superstitions prove how ridiculous we are when it comes to death. It is high time to stop believing these stupid superstitions and accept death whenever it comes.
No, I say
that's what the author says. That has no bearing on that.
I say that we keep up the superstitions. In fact, if Russians say that it's bad luck if you wish somebody a happy birthday early. So if you're on Facebook and somebody's birthday tomorrow and you wish them birthday for tomorrow today, then they're screwed. And also, if you're in Mexico, you don't want to place two mirrors opposite from each other because those infinite reflections may look cool, but facing mirrors like that create a portal, a doorway for the devil. And that's what's wrong with Kevin to this day.
Look, that's what's wrong with Kelsey to this day.
If you go to Japan, you do not want to poke your chopsticks down your food where they're sitting straight up.
Uh-oh.
Because the utensils look like the unlucky number 4, which means death. And so the incense sticks used at funerals. So don't point your chopsticks at anyone. That's just rude.
I pointed at
That's
Kelsey.
just rude. And now, give a penny if you've received. Okay, we've already talked about the penny. I already covered that one. Don't go right home after a funeral. You don't want to do that, especially if you're in the Philippines. It dictates that people, their tradition dictates that people never go straight back to the house after a wake. Otherwise, a bad spirit will follow you home and come inside. Mourners will take a stop at a restaurant or a store just to be safe. Whistling indoors invites evil. So there you go. I hear evil on your way. You may be an issue if you're in Lithuania where it's forbidden to whistle indoors because the noise is believed to summon wicked spirits.
Or what about the flute?
I think you're in trouble. And if you're in Germany, the last thing you want to do in Germany is have a toast with water. In other words, don't say cheers with a glass of water. You're actually wishing death upon the people you're drinking with. So, do I have some water here?
Oh,
Cheers.
I got my drink. Cheers.
Avoid sleeping with your head to the north. According to another Japanese superstition, sleeping with your head in that direction is bad luck because that's how the deceased are laid to rest. And avoid sleeping with your head to the west. You just can't sleep in any direction, can you? Conversely, the same if you're in Africa, you don't want to sleep with your head to the west, okay? Keep your new shoes off the dang table, Kevin.
Nah.
Britain is
okay.
Considered bad luck because it's supposed to symbolize the death of a loved one. Back in the day, placing someone's shoes on a table was a way to let the family know that they had passed away. Nowadays, it's just bad. It's bad etiquette. Itchy hands have financial repercussions. You always heard about itchy palm means you're about to get money. In Turkey, the itchy right hand means you'll come into some money, but an itch on your left hand, you're going to lose money. So it does make a difference which palm is itching. And whatever you do, don't play with scissors. Idly playing with scissors will bring bad luck, according to an Egyptian lore. It's just also very dangerous. Now, if you're out walking, don't step in any dog poo. Well, it's not necessarily bad luck, but if you're French and you step in dog poo with your left foot, it's only bad luck if you step in dog poo with your right foot. I don't know where that came from, but it sounds pretty reasonable, right? Bird poop also brings good fortune, according to another Russian superstition. So if bird poop lands on you or something that belongs to you, like your car, it could bring wealth. Something to keep in mind next time you're reading under a tree. Dog poop. And we've all kind of known that owls are bad omens. Egyptian superstition is that if you see or hear an owl, terrible news is coming. Another reason not to be hanging out in the woods at night, huh? And an owl in your house brings death. An Italian superstition says that if an owl ends up in your house, someone in your family will die. But who? They'll die. Knitting outside can prolong winter. You want a longer? Well, we should knit outside today, right? If you're in Iceland, keep the knitting inside the house. There's a local superstition that doing your needlework on your doorstep will bring those temps frigid. And whatever you do, Kevin, you keep playing with a flute, but do not play with yo-yos. In Syria, they banned yo-yos in 1933 over fear that they would cause a drought. Huh.
You can't go to Syria?
Yeah. Not play with your yo-yo. They're still debating the fidget spinners, though. And whatever you do, don't get a haircut on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is considered a transformation Tuesday plans. Getting a haircut on Tuesday in India will cause bad luck. And giving yellow flowers is not a nice gesture. Giving yellow flowers in Russia means that you're cursing your friend with infidelity. Spilling water behind someone is a nice gesture In Serbia, it's believed to bring good luck if you drip water behind a person. I wonder if I stood behind Kevin and peed, would that be the
I'd say
same thing?
if I slosh water down your backside, you can't get mad.
Dumping it on him is flat out rude, no matter where you are.
No, I say that's the good thing.
We've already talked about wedding bells warding off evil. Eating goat meat could get hairy. Superstitions in Rwanda: don't eat goat meat over fear that it will cause them to grow facial hair. Okay, females, keep it in mind. Pregnant women should give in to their cravings. A Canadian superstition is that expectant mothers who are craving fish but don't eat it will end up having a baby with a fish head.
No.
Pregnant women should not, however, eat asymmetrical foods. That's a Korean superstition that nibbling unshapely food while pregnant means you'll end up with an ugly baby. Now we know what happened with Kevin.
Now we know what happened to Kelsey.
Don't walk backwards. There you go, crazy girl. Don't think about walking under that ladder backwards. It's common belief is that you do. You're showing the devil which way you're going. And here is crazy girl's favorite. Don't walk under a ladder. It's pretty familiar with that one. And goes all the way back to medieval times. The ladder back then symbolized the gallows where people were hung.
Yeah, I read about that one.
Be wary of full moons. A full moon.
I love full moons.
Are commonly associated with chaos. Well, that goes hand in hand, according to Bustle. It's proper superstition, even in hospitals. Go to the hospital on Wednesdays. No wise tale states that the best day to go to hospitals is, in fact, hump day. Don't say the same word. Don't say the same word at the same time as your friend. According to local tradition in Italy, if you say the same word as someone in unison, you'll never get married. Okay, let's do it. I don't want to get married. To undo this bad juju, you must immediately touch your nose. Did you touch your nose, Kevin? And then here's one Kevin did: avoid broken mirrors. Matthew Hudson, science writer and author of the 7 Laws of Magical Thinking, explained at goodhousekeeping.com that we pay attention when material is dangerous or deadly, claiming it's better to recognize a stick as a snake than a snake as a stick. So it makes sense that you'd remember the cautionary legend about broken mirrors.
Get back in here.
You wouldn't want 7 years bad luck, would you? Protect yourself against the evil eye. Okay, don't be looking at Kevin. The evil eye, a human look believed to cause supernatural harm, is a well-known symbol of bad fortune, according to life science. It can be cast on people or even objects, like your car or your home. A number of it. Don't sing at the dinner table, Kevin. This is something else you shouldn't be doing. Apparently, in Netherlands, singing your favorite tune means you're singing to the devil for your food. And don't sit at the corner of the table. Another act causing you to be barren is the marriage department. Is sitting at the corner of a table. Hungarian thing. Don't wear red during a storm. In the Philippines, it's believed that the color red attracts lightning. And it's a shame. Red surely is the boldest fashion. Say rabbit, rabbit every month. Saying rabbit, rabbit or a white rabbit on the first day of every month ensures good luck for the month. The common belief in Britain and North America. Back in 600 BC, rabbits were thought to communicate with the spirits of the underworld because they lived underground. A rabbit's foot is also popularly thought to bring good luck, but apparently, in order for it to be considered lucky, the foot has to be the left hind foot. Don't enter a room with your left foot. In Spain, walking into a room with your left foot will bring bad luck. It's always better to enter or leave with your right foot. And don't, whatever you do, open umbrellas indoors. According to this superstition, if you open an umbrella before you head outside, bad luck will rain on you. There's some that say this belief came from the early Egyptians, while others say it came from the British in the 18th century, when waterproof umbrellas with metal spokes and a large circumference could cause injury if opened inside the house. Eat grapes on New Year's in Spain. Instead of kissing someone at midnight to celebrate the new year, they're encouraged to eat 12 grapes. one after the other for good luck. Hide your thumbs when passing a graveyard. People tend to hold their breath when they pass cemeteries, but in Japan, you must tuck your thumbs in to protect your parents. The Japanese word for thumb translates as parent finger, so hiding it protects them from death. We're moving along here. Listen for awkward silence. People associated awkward silence with a lot of different things, but some, according to stylists, believe that when these laws occur, an angel is passing over. Whatever you do, never step on a manhole. We all know the phrase, step on a crack, break your mother's back. But in Sweden, you have to watch out for the manholes. If you step on one with the letter A, this will bring you a broken heart and bad luck. Don't trim your nails at night. Many cultures believe that cutting your nails after the sun goes down is a big no-no. According to U.S. News, one Japanese superstition states it can cause premature death. Throw salt over your shoulder if you spill it. We all have heard that one friend who can't help themselves, or maybe you're that friend. Interestingly enough, that long ago, salt was used as currency. It was how Roman soldiers were paid. Don't chew gum at night. Brace yourselves. In Turkey, chewing gum at night is apparently the equivalent of chewing on the flesh of dead. Don't jump over a child. Another thing you shouldn't do in Turkey is jump over a child. Doing this will curse them to be short forever. Don't kiss the babies on the lips. If you plant one on the baby in Nigeria, legend says you'll condemn them to spend their entire adult lives drooling. No banana on board. Fishermen, according to Hudson, refuse to bring bananas on their boats. Not bringing a banana on board gives them a sense of control over very dangerous and unpredictable circumstances. Carry an acorn to stay forever young. Women in ancient Britain often kept acorns in their pockets to ensure a youthful complexion. There you go. This may just be our favorite anti-aging. Got some acorns over there? Don't let your purse touch the floor, Kevin. Don't let your purse touch the floor.
I don't carry a purse. I ain't got to worry about that.
In Brazil, putting your purse or wallet on the floor means you'll become penniless. So even if you packed your all your haunted dolls in your toes, you better keep it off the towel. I'm getting very close. Beware of unlucky animals. People in Ireland and Scotland believe seeing a single magpie is bad luck. For South Koreans, the bird will be worst mojo if it's a crow. For the record, we don't believe anyone should discriminate against animals because of these superstitions. An unlucky number, 13, is draped with bad vibes. Even if people say they don't believe it, they might expect bad things to happen on some level. We commonly fear 666, the devil's number, or the number of the beast. But did you know that in China, the number 4 is feared because it sounds very close to the Chinese word for death? And it's not Friday the 13th. Italians dread Friday the 17th. Don't tempt your fate in Cuba if you declare that it's all el ultimo, or your last drinks, ultimo, then your tempting fate and death will shortly follow. To avoid tempting fate, it's a common superstition among the public. For instance, one might refrain from saying, I never had cancer, and if you did, then likely proceed to knock on wood. Avoid sleeping with fans on. Many South Koreans also do not sleep with fans running in closed rooms. If they do, it's believed to be fatal. To combat fan death, legend says, keep your windows open. Knock on wood. Knocking on wood naturally is one of the most prevalent superstitions that people talk about. And even an atheist and a self-proclaimed skeptic still sees himself falling into the tendency of thinking coincidence are meaningful and that certain events were meant to happen. He believed it or not, still knocks on wood. And now for the last one for the evening at 9:02. Oh, that was the last one. Okay. There you go. There is our superstitious night, and we did get Kevin to twerk one more time. We thank
and
you.
Play the flute.
And play the flute. And so we thank you, Crazy Girl, for joining us tonight and enjoyed talking. So what are you going to call your girl? What did you get out of that session that you think that doll should be called?
Oh,
She's gonna leave. Yeah.
There she comes.
Did you?
Oh, there we go.
Did you add her back? Okay. Did you? So what?
Yeah.
What do you out of that session? What are you going to call your doll?
It's going to be Roberta, and I think Isaac, since I heard Isaac.
Okay. So you got a transgender doll.
Both.
You got a transgender doll.
I will try.
Transgender doll.
It has two spirits in it.
That's it. So that's an indigenous people's thing. They got two spirit people, right?
Yep. Right.
Yep.
So
it's kind of like Kevin.
Jeremy too.
Yeah, Kevin twerks and he's got hair on his face.
I've got some dolls that have multiple spirits in them.
Yep. But I'll try the name.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
Lost
Billy Bird, I'm glad you could join us tonight, and you got to see. I guess she was here when Kevin worked tonight. Had her back on way.
Here we go. I'm gonna say quick good night before it cuts off again.
Crazy girl, we're gonna say good night to you. Go ahead.
Okay, but I am going to try the name Jeremy too, because it could be Isaac Jeremy, and he goes by Isaac. Grandma calls him Jeremy. You don't know, but
so keep us posted.
Jeremy, Jeremiah.
Keep us posted. Crazy girl.
Well,
not abnormals. Oddities and Adventures on YouTube. Abnormal Alabama YouTube. AbnormalAlabama.com and Abnormal Alabama on Facebook. Over there is My Haunted Dolls, Kevin Kane, MyHauntedDolls.com, My Haunted Dolls on Facebook, and My Haunted Dolls on YouTube. And with that,
MyHauntedDolls.com.
And Billy Bird, thank you for finally coming back and joining us after your absence. You were greatly missed.
It's on the absentee list.
That's right. Crazy girl.
And it was
thank
nice
you for joining us. Good to meet you guys.
Thank you guys. Have a great night.
You too. Peace and love.
Peace. Peace.